Today we're going to read this book called From Nut to Tree by Millie Landis. Millie Landis is the author. While we're reading today, we're going to explore what is the author's purpose? Why did she write the book? What does she want us to know and understand? Let's get started. From Nut to Tree by Millie Landis. Look at the tree. Look at this. This is a nut. This nut will be a tree. I wonder if the author's purpose is to tell us how the nut turns into a tree. Let's keep reading to find out. How? Oh, look, the squirrel is asking how the nut turns into a tree. Maybe it is the author's purpose. Let's keep reading and see if we're right. Number 1. The tree has lots of nuts. Number 2. The nuts fall down. Number 3. A squirrel gets the nuts. I love to eat nuts. She can't eat all the nuts now. It will be winter. She has to have some nuts to eat in winter. The squirrel makes a hole. Number 4. She puts her nuts in lots of holes. Now it is winter. The squirrel looks for her nuts in the snow. Step number 5. Where are they? Here is one. Will she get them all? No. This one she doesn't get. Number 6. This one is under the ground all winter. Did you notice the author keeps giving us steps, telling us what happens to the nuts? Remember earlier I said I think the author's purpose is to teach us how nuts turn into trees? I wonder if that will still happen. Let's keep reading and find out. Out comes the sun. The nut is in the soil. I know that nuts or seeds need soil to grow. And now, look, the author showed us the sunlight. Do seeds or nuts need sunlight to grow? They do. Now, there is no snow. The author's telling us the season is changing. It is spring. I wonder what's happening to that nut in the ground. Number 7. The nut makes a new tree. I think I was right. The author's showing us how a nut can turn into a tree. The tree will get big. Step number 8. The tree will make lots of nuts. Step number 9. Look at this chart the author gave us. It says, from nut to tree life cycle. Wow, look at these 2 pages. We start with the nut, which goes down into the soil to sprout into a little tree, which turns into a big tree. And the big tree will drop more nuts that will sprout into more trees. The only nuts that grow into trees are the ones that get buried underground. Oh, look here. The author's telling us that animals, like the squirrel, need to bury those nuts so that they can grow into a tree. Maybe that's the author's purpose. You know, I changed my mind. In the beginning of the story, I thought the author's purpose was to tell us how nuts turn into trees. But after reading the text, I realized something else was really important, and that's the squirrel. If it weren't for the squirrel burying that nut, it wouldn't have grown into a tree. So now, after reading, I learned that the author's purpose is to tell us that squirrels help a nut turn into a tree by burying it. Good thing I read the whole book and looked at all the details and the reasons. I looked at the pictures and the words to help me figure out why the author wrote today's book. Now it's your turn, boys and girls. Next time you're reading a book, see if you can read the whole book and figure out the author's purpose, or why the author wrote the book.